Hi, welcome back to another video. I thought I'd do something a little bit different today, and I'm just about to do an acrylic set, so I need to put some nail beds into my Flexihand and some tips on. So I thought I'd do a little video on how and what I put into my Flexihand. Right, these are nail beds and they're actually called Flexi Tips from Glitter Planet. And obviously they are like a very light brown colour. You get 500 in a pack and they are £11.40. They are. So I generally don't use the thumb, even though there is a tip in there. But to take photographs and that for my YouTube and Instagram, etc., it's just easier to do 4 fingers, which is why you see a lot of people doing just the 4. Plus it's a waste of product as well, putting it on the thumb. You never get to see it, it's never in a photo. So anyway, those tips are really long. They slide right in as far as that well will go, which means you can file while they're in situ, which is great. Like, you haven't got to keep taking them out to file them. So I've popped them in. There was a little bit too much length on them, so I've just snipped them off the end, and I'm just going to sort of round them off a little bit because I don't want that horrible square looking nail. I hate that. I couldn't leave them like that, it just looks horrid. So to represent a nail bed, I prefer to round it off slightly, and I'm using that file is a Rachel Wilder's file, and I think that one was a 150. It's alright, I recorded this the other day and I'm just doing the voiceover on it now, and I thought, what number was that? But it would have been a 150. So give them a quick brush off. Now I'm going to put on the end some easy tips. They are from Glitter Planet as well. I am just going to find them on the, let's type in easy tips just so I can tell you the price. So I'm just on their website on my other iPad. Okay, these ones are the Easy Tips Clear Long Stiletto. It's 500 in a bag again, and they are £10.80, and they're in size 0 to 9. I like these ones. I do like a stiletto shape, but for these I do actually cut them down. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue. A lot of people put them literally right on the end, like on the very, very tip. But I know I'm quite heavy-handed, and if I put them right on the very, very tip, I know I would end up breaking them off before I've even got any acrylic on there. That's just me. So yeah, I do put them a little bit further up than I should. And I also have a tendency of putting too much glue on. I'm terrible for that. Look, and it all squeezes out of the bottom of the nail. Oh, that's just me. So once they're on, I've noticed with the Flexihand, the ring finger and the little finger has a slight turn on it. So I would presume it's sort of like, it's like anybody's hand, isn't it? They're not perfect, they're not all straight. So you do have to be careful when you put your tip on. And that's why I keep pulling the fingers together, just to double check that I've put in the right place. Because if it's not in the right place, I can whip that little finger tip off straight away. Right, glue bottles. I managed to get the lid off mine miraculously. Your glue bottles, a little tip, if you are concerned about that, the fact that the glue will end up seizing on the top, pop a little bit of Vaseline around it. Usually does the trick, stops it from sticking. So that bottle that I've got, that's been stuck for about 6 months. And I managed to get some pliers on it and pull it off. So that is going to have some Vaseline on it now. Just snip the ends off, just where the numbers are, and I'm just going to give them a quick file. Usually what I tend to do for these now, I do like to file across the whole of the nail. So it's just so that that acrylic, when I put it on, has got something to grip to. It's not going to be slippy and a sheer surface. So I'll just do up the side walls just to make sure there's none of that tip hanging over the edge to the nail bed. And then I will go across the barrel of the nail bed where that tip meets the nail bed, just to get rid of that step. Nothing worse than putting some acrylic down and then you've got a big step. That is not what you need. You don't want to take it down completely flat, but just enough so that it's not going to look like it's got a line across it. And then we just give it a quick flick across. You don't want anything too abrasive. I think this is a 150 file still. I'm still doing it with the same one. I could have done it with a 180 or even a 220, but I don't have a 220, so, and I just didn't bother getting out a 180, so I thought I'd use the one I'd already got. So I'm going to do that on each one, and then I'm just going to give it a flick off with a brush, bring them together, make sure they're all okay. And then the last thing I'll do is just before I start my acrylic set, I'll actually put a clear acrylic base down just across that nail bed, just going over where the two nails meet, just making sure that, number one, we haven't got a step there, and if it was on a human, you want to put a clear base down so that anything that you are using, pigmented acrylics, blacks, blues, reds, all of those colours, you don't want them on your nail bed. So always put that clear base down. I don't do it all the time, only because it's a waste, because my tips literally get done after I've done the set and took the photos. They get pulled out and they get thrown in a drawer. So I don't always put a clear base down because I'm tight, to tell you the truth. I will let you watch the rest of this. It's only about another minute, and I do leave a photo at the end once I've put the clear base down. And yeah, that is it. That is what I do and where I get my tips from. You can, in your Flexihand, put in just like some full covers, but when you come to file, they're a bit of a pain because they keep popping out. So this is the better version. Right, thanks for watching. Bye.